Aaron from Carbuyer.com.g. We're looking at the new Mercedes C-Class, been facelifted for 2019. Now the W205 C-Class, this is a major facelift for the model. Mercedes says more than 50% of the parts are all new. And you can see that on the front with the two headlights. Those are full LED units now. Looks more and more like an S-Class than ever before. This is the Avantgarde model, the dual louver grille and the really big Mercedes badge on the front. Now the C180, we've already done a review. That's up on Carbuyer.com.g. That is the same 1.6 litre turbocharged engine than before, but this is the C200 and it's a little bit different because there's a totally new engine under the bonnet and it's hybrid only, and we're going to drive and find out how, why and how much you should not run away from this hybrid. I'm in the cockpit of the new C200 and we're at a traffic light, a red light, and the engine is off. But other than that, there is no obvious sign that I am driving a hybrid. Now the instruments here, they have a little EQ meter that says power or charge depending on whether you're using power or charging the battery. But other than that, there is no obvious sign that I'm driving a hybrid. So I looked for a hybrid readout here. Oh, the engine just came back on. A little bit of a jerk, but still very smooth. And that's because the starter alternator is belt driven by the hybrid system. So it's a lot smoother than the old systems. We had a little shake of the whole car. You couldn't really feel that. It was just a little very gentle nudge, which is different from previous Continental cars where they had the obvious shake when the hybrid system came back on. So it's very smooth. And another thing, on the exterior of the car, there is no indication that we are driving a hybrid car. So I have this feeling that Mercedes has gone in with hybrid tech, but they're not shouting it and they're not trying to scare the conservative buyers of a C-Class. And if you don't like to wear your hybrid pride on your sleeve, no, this car will do it for you. And there's another thing that we need to point out for the instruments. Here's the U-turn. The instruments on this particular car are conventional ones with a digital readout, but the actual car itself will have a 12.3-inch HD cockpit thing, the changeable digital instruments that we sell on the C180 as well. So to pair with the 10.3-inch main display screen. So driving along in the C-Class, it's a nice wide road. I'm doing about 60, gonna go up to 70 now. The interesting thing about the hybrid system on this car is that not only is there a totally new 1.5 litre engine, of course the previous engine was a 1.6 that was tuned up to 184 horsepower. That was the old way of doing things, you know, same engine, same gearbox, a little bit more boost, a little bit more power and torque at the expense of fuel consumption. But this is the other way around. Since the C180 has the old 1.6, this is a new 1.5 with the hybrid system. So you get 184 horsepower and you add 14 horsepower from the electric motor to it, and it's a mild hybrid. So just now when I was at a standstill, the start-stop came on, but I couldn't have driven off in electric mode only. So the engine is still the main motivator of this system. You have 14 horsepower extra, 160 extra Newton meters of torque. Just gonna try this here. Yeah, quite a bit more sprightly than the C180, pleasing. And the interesting thing about the way that Mercedes has tuned the hybrid system, it's not just an add-on everywhere, you know, it's not 14 horsepower everywhere. It depends on the situation. So if we're going low speed, starting off from a standstill or at low speed, which is typically where a gasoline engine is the most inefficient, that's where the e-motor is going to come in with its 14 horsepower, 160 Nm of torque. So it supplements the turbocharger, and what Mercedes says, it bridges the gap for when before the turbocharger has kicked in. Now, one of the advantages of the hybrid system is that fuel consumption is obviously improved. It's not as much as I'd like, it's 6.6 down to 6.3, but the kicker is that it goes from a VES rating of C1 to B, which is neutral, and that means this car is $10,000 cheaper than it otherwise would have been. And the other interesting thing is that now, compared to before, June 2018, the price difference between a C200 exclusive and a C180 exclusive was about 30 grand Singapore dollars. Now it's down to around 16 grand, and this car costs 200. I think it's 201 888 with COE, and the C180 in exclusive trim costs 186 888, if I remember right, or 184 888. But anyway, the price difference between the two has gone down by a considerable amount, and that is thanks to the better environmental impact that the C200 has. So it's less polluting, you get more benefits. So in the sense, it's the best time for you to buy a C200. And the fact that it doesn't behave like a hybrid, doesn't scream hybrid in your face, It's still a very smooth drive, very quiet, very refined, everything that a C-Class should be. That's the best part of the deal.